has been an age of victory and conflict in the land of Thedas, where mages are being ostracized, and so are the elves, and so are the Quinari. The Quinari are warriors beyond anyone, the horned ones, the horned god, if you will. All led by the leader known as RETROSPECT, which teaches his men philosophy. And it's up to Hawk, the chosen one of noble human blood, to deal with the RETROSPECT. I love this. The Quinari actually have a very unique perspective if you pay attention to the philosophy of their leader that Sten talked about in Origins. It's satanic. Their philosophy is completely atheistic. They believe magic is a sensical thing, a scientific thing. They are satanic. But along with the ostracized elves, which represent wicked, they are magic. They are magic. You have to deal with the city elves and the Dalish elves that have been cast out of the city. And of course I'm talking about this. Dragon Age 2. There is extreme potential in everything. The game is all about the city of Kirkwall, which was built as a slave city of Tevinter.
I'm not calling you a liar. Just don't lie to me.
Where you have to deal with how much the Templars are judging and putting down mages, along with the Quinari, the satanic philosophy Quinari, that are obviously inspired by the Horned Guard, the Baphomet. And you have to deal with the religious Tantri, the religious order, sect of Kirkwall, just being unable to accept anybody, even though they are powerful peoples. They are heartfelt peoples. They are beautiful people. Humanity is at a low, and you know that. And you know that perfectly because you play as the human. You are forced to play as a human, soldier or male, female, warrior or mage. And you have to deal with so many things. First you meet the Grey Warden of Ferelden, of Arlethane, the warrior Grey Warden, named Anders. And he is the savior of all, as he merged himself with the spirit of justice. But that spirit of justice turned into the demon vengeance, because he couldn't stand how mages were treated in their circles. Along with Fenris, which based off of Norse mythology there, a slave and elf in the Tevinter city that was built to keep enslaved elves. And watch horribly as these mages suffer because of not only Tevinter law, because it's a Tevinter city, but because of the Chancery laws that disallow magic. Watch as the rebellion begins as soon as Anders, the hero, the Grey Warden hero that has fought and became a hero for Reldon. Watch as he becomes borderline insane and bombs the Chantry with an ancient elven bomb. He says, he smashes his fucking staff down and goes, "Your leadership has failed. We will not bow down to the Templars. We will not bow. We will not surrender. We will start this mage rebellion." His speech is enough to just take your heart and just go, wow, look what they're fighting for. This hero, 10 years ago, he does this 10 years after he has become a noble acclaim and hero in combat as a mage Grey Warden, a warden that happens to be a mage. Watch in the end game as he fights for his rights once again and blows up the religious Chantry. All because mages are mistreated. He has made a deal with the spirit of justice. He has made a deal with justice, and the justice turned into the demon within. The demon within. "We will not bow to your Templar jailers," cries out Justice. And watch as you and your Hawk family uncover mysteries in Orlais about the game, where you have to hunt, perform this hunt. Not only that, but figure out the legacy of the Hawk. Blood of the Hawk. All in this game. The left is the mage, and the right is the Templar. This is just pure poetic justice. And then we realize that, and know perfectly, that the 7 Tevinter Magisters that has reached the Black City, watch as they slowly revive. We, in Dragon Age Origins, we briefly saw one. The first one, the architect that made the Blights possible. But in this one, we meet the conductor. But when I first played through it, I thought it was fantastic. It was crazy that this demonic, blighted creature of the conductor, which is translated to Corypheus in the encyclopedia, but his real name is Conductor, worship the old dragon god, the first god. In Dragon Age Origins, we dealt with Uthermil as the 5th god that fell and became an archdemon, but the Conductor, Corypheus, worshipped the first, known as Dumat, god of silence. Watch as you have to revive the Conductor, and watch him as he chillingly calls out to Dumat. This is a chilling event. This is a chilling game, and I highly recommend it. The interesting idea is that Dragon Age 2 takes place in the Tevinter slave city, Kirkwall. And if you play through Dragon Age 3 and you unlock the Constellation Codex for Judex, Judex is the Tevinter version of Justice. And the Spirit of Justice is the one that permanently possessed Anders. And Tevinter is very well known for putting slaves below magic. Magic above all. So, and Anders was a mage, and he was possessed by the Spirit of Justice. So is there a big possibility, and when I say a big possibility, that Anders was just being used for the Tevinter agenda? And there's also a possibility that the Conductor, you can bring Anders along when you confront the Conductor and he loses control and all that. There's a possibility that Corypheus, or the conductor, is using Anders to spread the message of mage oppression to the extreme, to be the hero for mages, just to start the war. When Anders decides to blow up the religious chantry, the church, was he being used so mages can rule once more? We'll find out very soon. But at the end of the story, Anders was the hero. It feels like that he was trying to fight for justice of all. He wasn't alive. He just lied to people.
Just don't steal from me. I'm not calling you a ghost.
And another thing
Stop haunting me.
about the Quinari. The Quinari are the ostracized ones, and the elves are out of the city, kicked out permanently. And the Quinari are the Satanists in the city that are being misjudged for their religion, which is this, because the rest of the city wants to start a fight with them when they just want to be there. There's always a message at the end of the day, and that is one of them. So many messages at the end of the day. You can understand. The Quinari are just atheistic and have the words of strength, and they power their units and their cells, and they power their community with similar philosophy, exactly the same philosophy. And Anders can be picked afterwards. He can be seen manipulated as a villain because he blew up the chantry. The rest of the world will think he's a villain, but only very little people understand where he is coming from. And he is no villain.